Before I start the video, I want to make a promise. Anyone who knows me knows that I like trains, and my last two videos on nostalgia trips had trains in them. So to stop you all from thinking that I can only consume media that contains trains, I promise you that there aren't any trains in this film. Enjoy! Everyone knows Tom and Jerry. How can you not? Cat vs mouse with simple story plots and a very creative take on slapstick equals fun times. Hell, they were even good enough to rival Disney's silly symphonies and give Looney Tunes a run for their money in their prime. And why wouldn't it? Even the oldest ones still look great and hold up to this day, with solid slapstick and comedic timing as well as Tom's classic scream. Performed by William Hanna himself, one of the creators of Tom and Jerry. So with this much care and attention, the short films got their own shows, still running to this day almost 80 years after the first time the duo were ever on screen. So naturally, after Who Framed Roger Rabbit and the success Disney have with films starring their own little magic mouse, it was inevitable that the pair would get their own time on the big screen. But there's a problem. Tom and Jerry worked as short films, no more than 10 minutes a pop. So how do you make a full-length feature picture out of it? I don't know, but this was the result.
Do I miss you? Count the stars, multiply by 10.
I am not bluffing, folks. I am not showing you the wrong film. There's a singing orphan in Tom and Jerry, the movie. Directed by Phil Roman, a guy who previously worked on some Garfield shorts, the film dropped into cinemas on October 1st, 1992, which was a Thursday, the spookiest day of the week. Technically making it a Halloween film, so this is technically a Halloween video. Yeah, let's throw up some spooky decor and let's sit down and see how bad they screwed this up. We start out with credits and some simple slapstick that you'd expect from the duo, if a bit graphic for the intended audience. Ah, there's some quality assurance right there. One of the original makers of the short films was consulted while this thing was being brought to life. Something you may have noticed is Tom doesn't quite sound the same. Listen. That's not William Hanna's yell. But I suppose different times, and old Willie was around 82 when the film came out, so it makes sense for them to find someone else to do the yelling. Now the film begins, and Tom's owner is moving house. Tom seems quite excited and ready for the trip, jumping into the back of the car. Jerry also decides to follow along and move with them, but as he climbs aboard, Tom notices and naturally picks him up and flicks him away. Of course, Jerry is one step ahead and the pair go flying, leading to them running around before Jerry hides in the wall, to which Tom responds by boarding Jerry in. But as Tom is about to head back to the car, it turns out his careless owner left without him, likely fed up with all the shit he keeps breaking. Tom starts to chase after the car, only to wind up bumping into a nasty looking dog. For some reason they didn't stick with Spike, the dog from the original cartoons. Why? Even if he wasn't a key character in the film, it would have been nice to at least have him in. Hell, the dog is drawn in the same style as him, I just don't get why they coloured him in different. Oh whatever, I shouldn't nitpick so early. We've yet to even touch the bag of fleas that awaits us. Anyway, Discount Spike starts chasing Tom all the way back to the house, barking at every window and door, leaving him trapped and forced to stay there. Still though, it's a funny bit and there's plenty of comedy, so it's not all bad news.
Why don't you try giving it a swing?
Yeah, alright then. Oh no!
Easy, Lofty, take it easy.
How big it was! Oh dear me! Oh!
Steady, Lofty! Steady!
Oh dear.
Oh!
Swing it, Lofty!
Oh dear.
Oh! Sorry, Bob!
Well, that sucks. Guess the owner must have moved out last minute. Or the most incompetent demolition company ever was hired, because they didn't even check if anyone was still in the house before smashing the place. So the two are left homeless and having to walk the streets. Simple hijinks ensue, leading them down an alleyway where they...
Well.
What have we here?
Well. Look at the big brave pussycat.
Hey, who the fuck are you? Some dog and a flea, cool.
The name is Pugsy. What's yours?
I'm Tom.
I'm Jerry.
You fucking what?
I'm Tom.
Okay, hold the phone. Why? I mean, they have spoken in the past.
Gee, I'm throwing away $1 million.
But I'm happy!
But that was just to add to the comedy. This? Things were alright so far. Hardly a word spoken and we could understand what was going on fine. Why are they talking? And the voices. Oh god, the voices. Just listen.
How come you never spoke before?
Well, there was nothing I wanted to say that I thought you'd understand.
They don't work on multiple levels. Just, you know what? I'll cover this more at the end of the review. We're only 11 minutes in. So now the dog and the flea are telling them to be friends, and now they're singing? I mean, the song is catchy and all, but this is Tom and Jerry, cat and mouse. One of the oldest cartoon rivalries ever. Why are they singing about being friends and talking? This isn't right. I'm gonna motherfucking kill someone. I swear to fucking Christ. I will powderize their skeleton and I will make... It's okay. Song's over. I've relaxed now. I accept they can talk. Let's just move on before the police get involved again. So the song ends and Tom immediately doesn't care about being friends with Jerry, effectively making the song pointless in the context of the film and a huge singing, dancing waste of my time. Dog invites the duo to come eat out of the trash, but while Tom is distracted by not learning from the entire song he just sang, Dog gets captured by stray catchers, leaving Tom to eat alone.
This is our turf, Tootsie.
Oh no, what's gonna happen? Is Tom gonna get hurt? Is he gonna give them Jerry? Are the cats going to... They start singing. Ugh, fine, this song is pretty bomb too, all about not needing friends and not caring, but it serves as nothing but filler. So with that all over with, the two wander back out onto the street, now somewhat closer to being friends. So what's the story going to be now? If you guessed they need to work together to survive on the streets and avoid the stray catchers, you'd be all wrong. So wrong I'm going to laugh at you. I'm not going to laugh at you guys, this film has taken a lot of energy out of me. I need you guys to stick around because I really can't do this alone. Turns out that looming shadow belongs to this little girl, a character never seen before or since this movie. Oh yeah, kick the one piece of trash down this big empty staircase. Smooth. So she's probably going to scare them off and the street adventure can continue, right? Right? Ugh, nope, looks like she's going to be a character now. So she's an orphan that ran away from home. Her mum died while she was a baby and her dad's a millionaire that got caught in an avalanche during an expedition in Tibet. And from the picture in the locket, I can't tell what he looks like more, a skinny Saxton Hale, or what you'd get if Steve Irwin gave up animal training to become a paedophile. So I guess this isn't going to be a Tom and Jerry film anymore, it's going to be a film with them in it while we follow this brat. She explains that she's ran away from her abusive aunt who's taken over the house. And here we meet the aunt, who looks like Ursula from The Little Mermaid playing Cruella de Vil, worried that she won't get any more money from the father's trust fund if the orphan girl isn't found. Yep, that's all this character is. In fact, that's pretty much the only thing all the antagonistic characters in this film care about. Money.
We've got to have money.
Well, apart from the aunt's dog that only cares about food. This leads into a song about how much they love money. Yep, not the most filler-esque of all the songs in this film, as it is relevant to the plot, but definitely one of the least memorable. Soon Orphan Girl is brought back home by this cop that kinda sounds like Fred from Scooby-Doo now that I listen to it.
Here she is, safe and sound. We found her down by the old bridge.
Accompanying her are your boys, who the aunt reluctantly agrees to let into the house. Donald Dog shows Tom and Jerry into the kitchen while the aunt starts being cartoonishly evil towards the girl. My guess is she's channeling the energy of your average Roald Dahl villain. This leads into an actually enjoyable sequence in the kitchen where the dog is chasing them both around and actual slapstick ensues. Yeah, how hard is this to do? An hour and 20 minutes of this, please. Soon enough, the kitchen is a wreck, and the aunt wants them gone, saying she'll send them to an animal keeper called Dr. Applecheek, where they'll be looked after.
And he loves them to death.
Oh yeah, I have nothing but good feelings about this. Meanwhile, in a surprise twist of fate, Orphan Girl's dad is still alive in Tibet, leaving Aunt Ursula and her lawyer boyfriend to be worried about their money. Aunt carelessly tosses a letter into a fireplace, leaving it to roll out, and giving Jerry, who's been watching this whole thing for some reason, a chance to grab it and take it to the girl. You'd think a sea witch would be more careful with these things. Unfortunately, she catches the pair before they can deliver the news and takes them to the Disney-like home of Dr. Applecheek. Once she's gone, he begins to sing all about how he loves animals and how much he cares. But right guys, you'll never guess what. Turns out he's evil and keeps animals hostage from their owners so they'll give him money, because of course all he really cares about is money. Fortunately, Dog from earlier is in the cage next door and informs them they need to press some convenient buttons to let everyone out. Also conveniently, the two guys looking after the animals fell asleep, not realizing they'd just put a mouse in a cage that could just as easily squeeze out and get away. And so, Jerry gets out, presses buttons, and all the animals break free and run off. Nothing was learned, there was hardly a struggle, the scene served pretty much no point other than to act as filler.
Get going and give that orphan kid the good news.
Right!
So we're back at the house, and the orphan girl is singing about being sad. A song that's actually pretty good. I could see that in the Disney film. Just a shame it's in this shit show. Once that's all wrapped up, Tom and Jerry burst in to tell her the news, causing her to waste no time in packing a bag and jumping out the window in an attempt to make it to Tibet. You'd think by now a sea witch would have known to put some sort of spell on the windows or invested in some window locks, but hey, we all have our faults. Unfortunately, the noise wakes her, so her and the lawyer set out to catch the girl. While hiding under a bridge, the trio discover a raft and use it to make their escape down the river.
Viva, viva, viva! You guys is always trying to tell me I need a tow. Move out of my way, please. Gringos, who needs them?
Next day, Aunt Figroll gets a call from the lawyer man saying,
No more money?
Without proof that Robin's being well cared for, we can't touch another penny of her father's money.
to get the girl back so they can have money, they plan to set a reward for if she's found, obviously with no intention to give out the prize. Then it gets kinda sexual for a moment.
That's why it's so sleazy.
Oh, I love it when you talk like that.
We then get a literal 15-second scene of Indiana Dad flying a plane being told his daughter has ran away, then stating he knows where she'll go, turning the plane around and flying away. That's it. I guess they wanted him to return, but also wanted a setup for it so it didn't come out of nowhere? Whatever. Girl is washed up on the riverbank and is taken in by what I can only assume is a man with some very serious, unchecked mental health issues. He apparently owns a little fairground, which is innocent enough, but keep in mind, this is a full-grown man who dresses like a pirate, refers to himself as Captain Kiddie, states all he eats is milk and cookies, and has a hand puppet that can not only think independently of him, but can also eat real food. What is this man? What is this thing? What is going on underneath that puppet? He introduces himself to Orphan and then proceeds to sing about who he is and how he used to be a massive show star. I'm just going to skip this song because it's just filler. Catchy, catchy filler. Of course, it turns out they have a milk carton with the orphan girl's face on the side, and they realise that they could get the million for turning her in. Because of course, the only thing these people seem to care about is the money. Tom and Jerry wash up close by and find the girl's locket, realising that she must be close by. Back at the house, the aunt is dealing with the creepy doctor from earlier when she gets a call from ye olde captain, informing her that he has the girl. The doc overhears this and immediately sets off to capture the girl for himself, followed swiftly by the aunt and her creepy lawyer boyfriend. The doc quickly gets kicked out of his van by his two dimwit helpers for refusing to share the money, and then the film just does this. I feel like this film just turned into an advert about stranger danger.
He might take your clothes off.
You mean do something rude to me?
Yes, something rude and hurtful. So always say no to strangers.
Meanwhile, Captain, he seems nice, but I wouldn't leave him alone with my children. Offers orphan girl a ride on the Ferris wheel, only to trap her at the top while they wait for her aunt to arrive. Looks like she didn't pay attention in the stranger danger class. Remember, I might joke about stranger danger, but it's a very serious subject. Be safe out there, kids. Oh, and the dad is now in a helicopter. There's 10 seconds showing that. That's all the setup he gets. Eventually, Tom and Jerry find the Ferris wheel and manage to get the girl down just as everyone arrives to get her. The fact this film is supposed to be about Tom and Jerry becoming less and less prominent with each passing second. The trio run and jump onto a steamboat conveniently close by and set sail away from the danger by literally pressing a button. Look, I know it's a cartoon, and I know it's for kids, but that's not how steam machines work. It's nitpicky, but as an enthusiast of all things steam-powered, it just pisses me off. The captain jumps in a dinghy, the aunt gets in her car, and the doc catches up on his ice cream trike, signifying the beginning of what I'm assuming is supposed to be the climactic chase scene. I'm no sailor, but I feel like that's going to mess up the gears a bit. The chase goes on. And eventually, thanks to some slapstick hijinks, the Doctor and Captain, I can't believe he'd do something like that, he always seems so nice, ended up crashing, leaving Ursula nowhere to be seen. The girl also notices they're heading for the log cabin that her dad built and decide to go there, what with it being a safe space for her. Unfortunately, the aunt beats her to it and locks her in the cabin, keeping her cornered. And so some slapstick ensues. Oh god. I mean, that's why you've got to be careful around an open flame in a log cabin. This just got real.
Always respect fire. If you don't, it will destroy you, your surroundings, and your friends.
The aunt naturally wants to flee, but the girl decides to run up the stairs in protest. Not only in protest of her aunt, but in protest of common sense. The aunt and lawyer decide to bail on the kid and end up slipping down the staircase and getting their comeuppance, while Tom and Jerry pull orphan girl onto the roof. Of course, Dad isn't too far behind and comes down to save the girl, leaving Tom and Jerry on the roof of the burning cabin. If that's not a good metaphor for this film, I don't know what is. The house collapses and all seems lost as the beloved duo go down with it. A moment of silence, if you please. They did not deserve to go like this. Not in such a trashy movie. Oh wow, look, they're alive, what do you know, that's great. Hey look, they lived happily ever after. And so the dog gives us some final words on Tom and Jerry being friends and... Oh, hold on. Where is he? Oh no, don't tell me he's on a... Oh no, I fucking promised there wouldn't be any trains, god damn it! I blame the dog. He made Tom and Jerry talk and he put a train in this fucking film. I hate that dog! So that was Tom and Jerry the movie. Nostalgia may be rose-tinted, but even with that tint, all I still see is a pile of trash. There are so many things wrong with this film fundamentally that it's just a mess to watch. There are so many chances for the plot to go in interesting directions while still being focused on Tom and Jerry, such as them avoiding the stray catches in the beginning or trying to find a new home. And they definitely didn't need to talk. They've managed the first 10 minutes without Tom or Jerry talking, and there are segments in the film where they don't talk at all. My theory is that someone had an idea for the orphan story and just threw Tom and Jerry in there so it could get made and fill it out more. But there's more wrong with it than just that. The animation can be a bit janky at times, the dubbing is off in some places, characters look at the characters sometimes and it's just weird. There's too much filler with some of the scenes being completely pointless, and it takes too long to figure out what story it wants to tell. The only good thing I can say about it has a decent soundtrack and occasionally the odd funny line.
It's a dog-eat-dog world.
That is not my favorite expression, Frankie.
Overall, I wouldn't recommend seeing it, not even for kids. Goodest Boy Award goes to... I was gonna say the dog, but then he brought a train into this, and so he gets nothing. Fuck it. Nobody gets the Goodest Boy Award this time. This film ruined Tom and Jerry and gets nothing for it. Next time, I'm gonna take down this train problem from the source. Wish me luck. Happy Halloween, by the way. This is still a Halloween video, so I hope you enjoyed it. Do the like, comment, subscribe thing. There's a bell. I don't know if I've got enough subscribers for you to ring the bell, but there's a bell on some channels, whatever. Okay, roll the outro.